are configured as const. That means the question is, so enum, we have an enum, and enum name, some enum is defined here. Suppose expressions is an enum, and here we can configure that. Suppose some a is equal to 1, and we can configure that as const. Now, what is the intention of configuring enum again as a constant? Usually, the additional const option is defined for enum. That means, what is the purpose of doing that? The main intention is, whenever you define the const for enums, that means it can have constant enum expressions. That means the main intention of const enum is to use const enum expressions. That means during the compile time, these enums can even evaluate an expression and return an expression based on the configured values inside that particular enum. That means here the point is, if I say enum, first one is, suppose a is 2, and I said b is equal to, so a plus 2. I can configure an expression here. We can build expressions. We can configure expressions through enum. Now here I am printing console.log. So a is equal to dollar expressions.a, and b is equal to, so dollar expressions.b. Like this we can configure them. I'm configuring a set of expressions. When we are configuring a set of expressions, then it is important to configure as this X. Now suppose if I define another value here, another value C, I am not configuring anything into it. Now I am printing the value of C. C is equal to, so dollar expressions, so expressions.c. We are printing the value of C. And here you can see the A value is initialized. B value depends on an expression, and C value will be the next value of that expression. That means whatever the value evaluated from that expression, it can return that value. You can handle multiple expressions here. For example, C is equal to B into, so some 2, B into 2, so or B into A. We are configuring that for C. We are configuring a set of expressions here. Then the C value you configured will use that value, will configure that value. Such expressions dynamically, if I want to handle data, we can do that by using a constant type of enum. So constant enums are used. Actually, const is used as a modifier for our enum to define a collection of expressions, right? So enum, const enum are configured in the same way, right? They are configured in the same way. Then important is when you are accessing the values, so it will evaluate that expression and return the values. Evaluate and return the values. That's what actually the concept of enum, right? Now, That is one regular question actually asked in interview. That means what is the purpose of that? So const enums are used to configure enums with expressions. So example is this. This is a simple example for const enums. Another question in interview is what is ambient enum? Technically, ambient enums. Generally, ambient enums, for that you need to understand another concept. Modular approach you need to know about. Modules, right? When you know about the module, then you can understand it. So the difference between ambient and non-ambient means actually regular enums are called non-ambient enums, right? Ambient enums actually, if the members, regular enums members that don't have any initializer, so that means they don't need any initializer, and it will be continuing with the preceding members. So ambient means it is a non-constant. Ambient means it is a non-constant enum member that doesn't have any initializer. That means non-ambient. So ambient, right? Let me tell you the answer clearly. Right here, the answer is all enums are by default non-ambient enums. All enums are by default non-ambient enums. That means all are constants. So all are constants. All are constants. So all are constants and have initializer. All are constants and have initializer. So ambient enum is nothing but ambient enum refers to non-constant enum. Non-constant values, refers to non-constant values in a collection. So here it doesn't depends on the initializer actually. So that is what actually non-constant ambient, non-constant. How this happens? That means they doesn't have initializer. How this situation comes? How you configure the non-ambient enums? Actually, the point is simple. For example, I am writing here like suppose this is a regular situation also. Actually, we are saying enum error code, and in the error code enum, so here we are configuring, suppose not found is some 404. That is not found is 404. Okay. Actually, after configuring 404 not found, generally when we are defining the status code, the next status code we configured. So